Why aren't we entering that?
I have. All right. Okay. So what are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about the concerts we have been together. And first off, I think we would say that we both feel like we haven't been to nearly enough concerts together.
I must admit, when you mentioned that you were thinking of this topic, I immediately started to think, what concerts have we been to? A couple of big ones stood out, but I must admit it took me a minute to think of some of the other ones we've been to.
I think this is a point in my life where I feel like the line between life before Tony and life after Tony is really blurred, because we've obviously been together for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and for some things at least I'm like, was that with Tony or not? And
Oh, you mean
I feel like we've been
after you met me, you mean?
did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
I always say it wrong. So anyway, I feel like I think about all the concerts I've been to, and I was like, yeah, we went to all this together, but then I realized, no, we didn't really go together to all those. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I understand.
And we,
I think we may have been Bad Volume.
well, let's start over then.
Okay. Okay, so what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the concerts we've been together, which we both think is not nearly enough.
Okay. I must admit that when you mentioned this to me earlier, that you're thinking of talking about this, I instantly thought of one, maybe two concerts that just came back to my mind, but it took me a brief moment to think of the rest, and it wasn't as big a list as in my mind it should have been.
I agree. What's wrong with us? Why haven't we been to more concerts?
I want to blame children, even though they had nothing to do with it.
Well, they're certainly responsible for that over the last 4 years, but what stopped us before that?
Well, even the last 4 years, it's hardly like we couldn't find somebody to babysit.
True. We've actually been to three of the concerts in the last 4 years, I think.
Right, and two of them you were with child when we went.
Yeah. Alright, so I think maybe the first concert we went to together was Paul McCartney.
Yep, gotta go big first time out.
And actually we had tickets to go to Paul McCartney before. And we didn't get to go because somebody had a soccer game.
I did?
Yep. It was your first year coaching at the high school. But then we got to go to see Paul McCartney in Milwaukee. We took your brother and Julie with us.
I remember the seats.
Like they were about 2 seats away from the back of the wall, like the back of the place.
Yeah, I was kind of scared I might fall.
It was all we could afford.
Yeah,
Apparently Paul doesn't have enough money as it is.
I know, bastard.
Yeah. Keeps getting divorced, that's the problem.
He does.
Or married. I guess he's only been divorced once.
Okay.
But it was still a good concert.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I think your brother said afterwards that he was thinking, alright, I want to play this song next. And he would. He did a lot of good songs. And of course for me it was like a serious dream come true.
Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of why we did it.
Yep.
I must admit, even though he had a new album out, I think he may have played again one, maybe two songs of those, and the rest of some mostly Beatles classics with a couple of Wing songs thrown in. So I'm glad we did it. It was a lot of fun. It was a kind of not one of our first trips as a married couple, but it was a sizable excursion for us, a bit of an adventure, so I just found it fun.
And then we went, and I'm not sure that this is chronologically in order, but we went to see Coldplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, before that concert, I wasn't, like, I liked them, but I wasn't a huge fan, but it was a really good concert.
Yeah. That was the first time I've ever been to one of those sort of standard American bowl stadiums.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice. It can be horrible, but we had a pretty
Yeah,
nice
I'd hate to
experience.
be stuck up the back of that.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just have to get there early.
I mean, I've been to some music festivals, but I've never been to an arena that was quite like that, with just basically a graded hillside.
There've been a lot of those built lately.
Yeah, with like a sort of 90-degree arc from the stage.
There's some seats down in front, though.
Yeah, the expensive seats with a roof on top.
Yeah. And then when I was pregnant with Cora, we went to see The Police.
Correctamundo.
And that was a really weird experience because, of course, sound travels, I don't know, faster, I guess, through water than air.
I think
Or
the sound wave is...
The sound wave is amplified in water.
Or just carries better.
So I had this obviously big water sack in front of me, and I could just feel it in the way that you do in a concert anyway. But it was like I could just feel it in my belly.
Yeah. Me too.
And Cora enjoyed it.
Apparently, we should surreptitiously play like a Police song that was
See
in
what
that
happens.
concert. See if she like starts thinking like, why is that familiar?
And I remember from that concert that it was really funny because Sting went around and introduced everybody in the band, but he didn't introduce, like, nobody introduced him. Like, it was understood.
Well, I like that. I got a chuckle out of that. But then it was obvious to me that there were still tensions between the three of those guys. But at the end, when they all left, the drummer, it was kind of dorky in a way. Like, went up to the main microphone and was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm from Charlottesville." Of course, a fair number of the crowd, since we're at UVA, started clapping and making noises. But I was like, and. But it meant it obviously would. I
It's a
suppose.
homecoming.
Right, I was going to say, I suppose if I was a musician and I was going back after many years to play in my hometown, I suppose I'd be a bit excitable too.
You've been to Dave Matthews in Charlottesville.
Mm. True. Forgot about that. Thanks to
Lots
Jack
of
Daniels.
alcohol.
Yeah, thanks to Jack Daniels, I forgot about that.
So did we go see The Police or Eric Clapton first?
I want to say Police.
I think it was Eric Clapton.
Oh yeah, you're right, because we had, they weren't bad seats, but they weren't great seats. And it was almost the opposite end of the arena from the stage, and sort of halfway up.
But that was a really good show too.
Yeah, it was.
I've seen him before, and I'd have to say that was probably better than the first time I saw him.
Yeah. Must admit, it was good stuff, and I think he had also pulled in a guitarist that was sort of local to either the area or the region. Because I remember the support guitarist sort of having a good following, and I seem to remember him introducing him as a local boy or something. But anyway, it is strange to see a musician play the songs that you listen to and sung to in the shower. And
I always have a moment when I go to a concert, and I guess I would if I just happened to see a celebrity some other place, where I'm like, that's really the person. Like the person I've always seen on TV, that's really them. Like it's just kind of surreal because
Right.
you're always kind of separated from them by the TV.
You know what I just thought about is that, with the exception of a couple of concerts, the bigger ones we've been to have all included giant video displays.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I enter into this little internal dialogue or internal argument with myself, or I catch myself watching the artist on the video screen.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, because it's a bigger image, a close up
Yeah.
of their face, and then singing. I'm like, oh great, that's really good, and then the noise is sort of filling your ears. But then part of me is like, why the hell are you watching them on a screen? You could do that from home and just turn up the volume. Why aren't you watching that little dot on the stage? So, then that happens quite a lot. Usually
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like
I think
bouncing back and forth. I'm
I
like,
think
oh,
that's normal.
I'm tired of squinting at that little dot on the stage. I'm gonna watch the screen.
So then that brings us to the last concert we saw together.
Bono.
Yes, you too. Which was apparently like the biggest road show in history or something.
Yeah. Felt like they started that 10 years ago and only just
No, I just
finished
meant
it.
in like sheer scale of the production.
Yeah, and the number of people and
Because
the
they had
amount of
to
money
have
it
it in a
raised.
football stadium, and it was taller than the football stadium stage.
Yeah.
And the stage was so tall that they had to have a warning light on it for aircraft.
Yeah. I remember the stage. I guess I don't know if it was like a stage effect or just a byproduct of this sort of big industrial stage. But there was like a small sort of smoke or steam that sort of came out of the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking I was a real smart ass and elbowing you and asking if you thought they'd elected a new pope. And you just pretty much rolled your eyes in.
Again?
Yeah.
That was a really good concert, though.
That was. I'd have to say that that's a toss-up for me for my favourite.
Well, sentimental favorite for me would be Paul McCartney.
Mm-hmm.
But sheer experience would either be U2 or Coldplay.
Yeah.
I better go see some more concerts, babe.
Well, yeah. I suppose with Coldplay, the atmosphere to me was not more intimate, but closer
Mm-hmm.
than with U2. As impressive as the stage was for U2, it's sort of
We
huge,
were in a
grand,
bigger place.
right? And it's huge, grand size. It was so
Mhm.
hard to feel like you were there with the band. But you're right. We need to go to more concerts.
Well, I'll just check it out.
All right, right after this.
Okay.
Okay.
Good night.
So if you could, off the top of your mind, who would you go and see in your next concert?
Like Dream World or Reality World?
Yeah, it's got to be someone that's still doing concerts and that you would think there would be a reasonable chance of them playing within, let's say, a sort of 4-hour radius. So that'd be Charlottesville, DC, Richmond, Charlotte.
I guess I'd probably like to see Adele. I'm like so out of the music scene now, though. I wouldn't mind seeing Coldplay again, although I'm not really up on their latest songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I really hardly ever listen to music anymore.
I could give you a short list.
Yeah, go ahead.
My weird one would be M83, which do that sort of electronica.
Mhm. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and that's the reason I want to go. Is just that I'm pretty positive I
Just
wouldn't like every song.
Be
but
like
it
a
would
guy up there who just like press play and came back.
Right. And they'll be all 80s. They'll be wearing headbands and have big keyboards everywhere.
Like those With It people. What are they? Devo.
I'd probably want to see Adele as well, but I wouldn't want to go to a huge stadium.
She doesn't do stadiums, does she? I don't think she does.
I'd probably like to see Florence and the Machine.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. What about not music, but sort of stage or some sort of production? Is this something you'd want to
Like
go
a
watch?
play?
Yeah. I just thought
Or
about
a
going
show?
to be in the audience for like Stephen Colbert or something.
Yeah, we did. We went to see Jon Stewart
True, and concert.
and Lewis Black.
That was a bit fortunate, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because we booked the tickets for Vegas and then thought, alright, let's find what the hell there is to do in Vegas that weekend, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he was there.
So those are both good. I would like to see Jon Stewart or Colbert. We've been offered to go see Saturday Night Live, which I'm sure would be cool, but once again, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in years and years and years.
Yeah, the only reason I know the folks that work on Saturday Night Live are mainly through their movies that I've watched
Mhm.
recently.
I mean, I think Broadway shows are kind of cool. You know, I like dance.
Mm.
I
I must admit, I like plays. Be up and doing something like that.
we should make a
We're
trip
very,
to New York
it's a very
sometime.
culture-related discussion.
Well, we're very cultural people.
Oh, absolutely.
We should go to New York.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I want to go and find the cheapest hotel I could, though, as long as it wasn't, cockroach infested.
That'd be a good thing to
Image of
look
hotel rooms being extortionate.
at, like, Living Social or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's
Okay.
deals.
In fact, I know someone that there's like a network of little kind of boutique-y hotels almost, just small
Mhm.
little places with very modern minimalist furniture, and the prices are pretty cheap, so I'll see if I can remember what the hell they're called.
Okay.
Do you want to do a show?
Don't you have a buddy that lives in New York?
I'll find one.
Charlie?
Oh yeah. I'll give him a call tomorrow as well.
Can you call at 3 a.m. like he calls us?
No, I've got to wait at least 2 hours. He's probably just taking his afternoon nap right now.
Probably.
So your sentimental favourite would be
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, sorry.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say U2 for the wow factor and it's sort of a general experience, but I did enjoy Coldplay. And that was their X and Y album.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
All right. Good podcast. Sorry, I forgot about the video.
Oh.
I went like this. I forgot about the video. I'm sorry.